Was gathered in South Africa, the driver to beat was clearly Niki Lauda. He'd started this year as he'd completed 1975, and the authority his position as world champion gave him was clear as he told Ferrari designer Mauro Foggieri his thoughts on tyres for the Kyalami circuit.
The higher one, all the steering part is more sensitive.
Yeah.
Immediately you turn the wheel, it comes. That means the car is not nervous. It would need some more adjustments to get it right. The performance in the corner after the thing is the same as this and the other time. I mean, the performance for me is absolutely the same. Only the first little nervosity or whatever you want to call it.
Why you are quicker than
Because it's easy to drive.
James Hunt was settling in well at McLaren, and as a front runner, his tyre requirements were also important to Goodyear. He wanted to know which tyres Lauda had used.
No, he's been out on that front again this afternoon. That's empty to try him next.
Nicky?
Yeah, and that's what he's doing his times on now.
What's he doing now, you know?
No.
Did you do the rear turn?
Disappointed by Lotus in Brazil, Ronnie Peterson had returned to the March team, replacing Lella Lombardi. Carlos Pace was getting used to the new Alfa Romeo-powered Brabham. Depailler and Scheckter were entering the third year of their partnership at Tyrrell. Both were hoping for better results than they had had in 1975. Mario Andretti was another refugee from Lotus. He was back in the Parnelli. A new team on the grid for 1976 was France's Ligier, with its massive air intake. Emerson Fittipaldi didn't notice it. He had enough to think about with the new Kopasu car. Lord Hesketh wasn't here, but his car was, driven by Austria's Harold Ertl. The Ensign was driven by Chris Amon, but the budget wasn't as big as his talent. Roger Penske was a hands-on team owner who helped to push the car in the pits. Things were going well. Watson was third on the grid behind Hunt and Lauda. Mass in the second McLaren was fourth, followed by Depailler's Tyrrell and Brambilla in the March. The start could have been chaotic, as more and more drivers anticipated the flag, while the front two remained in place. Despite the confusion, everyone got away safely, although it all looked a bit uncontrolled. Nevertheless, the scramble through Crowthorne Bend saw the Tyrrell of Jody Scheckter's brother Ian going into the barriers after tangling with Michel Leclerc's Williams. The elder Scheckter's race was over. At the front of the pack, Lauda was ahead, followed by Hunt, but Brambilla in the March was pushing hard. The Italian was always a charger, and he even took over second place for a few early laps. But the pace was too fast, and after 5 laps, he started dropping back through the field. As the race progressed, Roger Penske was signalling to Watson, who'd made a bad start, that he was making progress. On the 16th lap, Peterson was unable to avoid hitting Depailler, who'd spun in front of him. Back in the pits, he reported to March executive Max Mosley.
Understeering. And how about you? How was yours? Mine was fairly good. It started off very good. It was going towards a little bit of oversteering. But I didn't have any brake left.
As Reutemann provided the spectacle on the track, the March pit crew provided the comedy in the pits. A late race splash and dash for Brambilla didn't have enough dash for his taste. Meanwhile, Lauda was maintaining the straight line across the top of the lap charts, holding on to the first place he'd taken at the start. Hunt gave him a difficult time, however, and at the flag he was just 1.3 seconds behind. The two leaders' pace meant that third-placed Mass was 3/4 of a minute behind Lauda, who talked to Sterling Moss after the race.
How did it go? Maybe a shot off broke. It was struggling all the way through the race.
But now you'll be able to go home to Ferrari and you'll be happy, huh?
Right, I hope so. I brought these 9 points anyway.
After South Africa, the next race was at Long Beach, California.